Over the past week, Ukraine has. Good news comes frequently. August 12. Ukraine launches new attack on Crimean Bridge. And in the Zaporozhye area. Ukrainian troops enter Robotny. And on the front line of Veliko Novosilka. Ukraine begins occupation of Urozain. Along the Dnieper River. Ukraine has established several bridgeheads. So what stage is the war in Ukraine now at? We will bring you the latest battle report today. Let's take a look first. Progress in the city of Lobodny. This video was posted on August 11th. Then after GPS positioning. Confirm that the video was taken in the northern outskirts of the village Lobotine. Ukrainian soldier in video says, "We defeated the Russians today. Putin, your Russian Empire will collapse like you." This video has been confirmed. Ukrainian troops have advanced to the north of the city Lobotine. There is ongoing fighting with Russian troops over the village. Lobotine is located 10 kilometers south of Kuban city. When Ukraine launched its counteroffensive in June. This is the focus of Ukraine's push. Responsible for the main attack is the 47th Mechanized Infantry Brigade of Ukraine. In that direction, Ukraine lost several German Leopard 2 tanks and the US Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. However, the current video shows Ukraine has successfully broken through the plain area several kilometers wide in front of the village. Successfully arrived at the edge of the village. The village of Lobotine is in Russia. The most important link in the first line of defense. In order to resist Ukraine's attack. Russia in the whole of Zaporozhye. Operating 3 lines of defense. Lobodny is the core of the first line of defense. And the city of Tokmok is located in Russia's third line of defense. It is also the core position of the last line of defense. This also means, if Ukraine breaks through to near Tokmak, will penetrate Russia's defenses. Kuban from Ukraine currently in control. To Robotny, the site of the current fighting. Distance 10 kilometers. The distance from Robotny to Tokmak is 15 kilometers. In other words, from Kuban to Tokmak. In a short distance of 25 kilometers. Russia has densely deployed at least 3 lines of defense. And currently Ukraine is already moving in this direction. Past 10 kilometers. Judging from the current deployment of troops near Lobodny. Ukraine is responsible for the main attack. They are the 47th Mechanized Infantry Brigade. Conduct a roundabout outflank on the east side of Lobodny. The one responsible for attacking from the front. Replaced with the 65th Mechanized Infantry Brigade. At the same time, the 118th Mechanized Infantry Brigade is responsible for supporting 47th Mechanized Infantry Brigade and 118th Infantry Brigade. It's all for this big counterattack. Established in accordance with NATO configuration. The 47th Brigade is mainly equipped with 99 vehicles from the United States. Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. There are also more than 20 German Leopard 2 tanks. The 118th Mechanized Infantry Brigade is equipped with American M113 infantry fighting vehicle and the M109 self-propelled gun. The tanks are provided by Poland. 28 T-72s. Of course there is no way to do it with the equipment. Compared with the 47th Mechanized Infantry Brigade. Let us move our sights eastward. Ukraine has recovered Urozain near Veliko Novosilka. Well, I have seen the Russian telegram group in the past 2 days. Said Russian frontline soldiers have been complaining. Tell their own position. exposed to fire from all sides in Ukraine, said he couldn't hold on any longer. Sure enough, within a few days, Urozain has been recaptured by Ukraine. View from the map. The village of Urozain is located in a river valley. The highlands surrounding the river valley, especially the highlands on the west side, have been controlled by Ukraine. Ukraine captures the village of Urozain. It's just a matter of time. August 13th. Famous Russian military blogger Romanov has confirmed Ukraine has captured the village of Urozain. Ukraine 35th and 37th Marine Brigade Joint Detachment. Artillery support in the 55th Artillery Brigade. With tank support from the 1st Tank Brigade. Defeat Russia completely from Urozain. Sometime in the past, Ukraine dispatches more than 100 people every day, and 15 to 20 armored vehicles. Attack on Russian positions. And on the Russian side, responsible for the defense is mainly the 40th Marine Brigade. Russian military blogger said. Nearly every Marine was wounded. Russian tactics fail. The biggest problem is the 36th Army. Lack of will to defend this village. Tank troops of the 37th Brigade even refused to support the infantry in the Battle of Urozain. They expressed, the tanks coming to support will be discovered by Ukraine and be destroyed immediately. On August 10th, Russian infantry had to start from complete withdrawal from the woods on the east side of Urozain village. This means that the fall of this village is imminent. On August 13th, Russian remaining troops had to retreat south from Urozain, and on the way to retreat, encountered an attack by Ukraine using cluster bombs. Caused massive casualties to Russian soldiers. Battle reports from Russia on the front line show the Ukrainian army now adopts a new tactic. A small reconnaissance force will be dispatched first, testing Russia's firepower. Russia will then call for its rear artillery. Conduct fire support. At this time, the reconnaissance force retreated back and hide in a safe bunker. After Russian rear artillery exposed its position, Ukraine passes counter-battery radar, confirming the location of Russian artillery, and then through long-range artillery, whether it is HIMARS or M777. Precision strikes against Russian artillery. In this way Ukraine continuously and repeatedly weakening Russia's artillery power. I also saw a very interesting little story 2 days ago. That story came from the Russian Telegram group. This news cannot be confirmed, but it is very interesting. That is to say, on the Zaporozhye front, the Russian commander had a sudden idea. Order your soldiers to put on Ukrainian military uniforms, trying to lurk behind Ukrainian defense lines to do some damage. Result: Russian soldiers put on the Ukrainian military uniform and set off. On the way, they were attacked by another Russian army. The drone was discovered. When they saw it, weren't they Ukrainian soldiers? Call me, and then the Russian soldiers call for rear fire support to these Russian soldiers disguised as Ukrainian soldiers. Precision strike. The Russians suffered heavy losses. But the story doesn't end here yet. Because the Russian rear artillery fire, as a result, it was detected by Ukraine's own anti-artillery radar, pinpointed the location of Russian artillery. So Ukraine used its own artillery precision strikes against Russian artillery units. What about this story? I don't know if it's true or not, but we can see it from the side. In this Ukrainian war, Western-aided counter-battery radar played a very important role. This is why in the past month, Russian artillery losses on the front line. Far more than Ukraine's artillery losses. Currently Ukraine is on the front line. Has changed its promotion strategy. It's no longer like the big counterattack in early June. All of a sudden, a lot of troops were blindly invested in. The advance at that time would bring huge casualties and losses. Now Ukraine pays more attention to firepower. The video we are seeing now. It is Ukraine that is using the JDAM bombs provided by the United States. Attack the Russian stronghold at Urozain. And in another video, Ukraine continues to use artillery to bombard Russian positions. Of course, Ukraine adopts the current tactics. Progress will be very slow. In fact, as early as 2 weeks ago, Ukraine has already advanced to the vicinity of the village that until recently had full control of the northern part of the village. Strategically speaking, Ukraine attacks Urozain. It is to open up the direction of Tokmak. From Tokmak you can reach Melitopol directly. Split the entire Zaporozhye in two. And direction Veliko Novosilka. It is advancing towards the coast of the Sea of Azov. The target is Mariupol or Berdiansk. Distances from Mariupol in this direction. Actually only 90 kilometers. If you drive, you can drive there in just over an hour. Ukraine war looks to be heading towards long-term development. The war cannot end soon. Changes on the battlefield since then. We will continue to observe. This is the Wealth Accumulation Channel. See you in the next episode.